ensuring a successful partnership that coordinates both public and private support of Belle Isle as a public park. Hello and thanks for joining us. I'm Laurel Haas, coming to you from the Detroit Historical Museum in the city's Cultural Center Historic District in Midtown Detroit, and this is Comcast Newsmakers. Joining me now is the president of the Belle Isle Conservancy, Michelle Hodges. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Laurel. We love people that share our love of Belle Isle, so thank you.
Well, anybody who's born and raised in the city of Detroit, which of course I was, has vivid memories of Belle Isle as a child, at least I do. But it has certainly changed over the years, both good and bad, right? So there was a lot of years where folks stopped going to Belle Isle, and now we're looking at the years where they're all returning.
Well, it is such a special place, and we know we have this deep connection to the community. It's a very important repository of cultural tradition here in Detroit, so it is so important to protect that. And we are in a great era right now as we move forward because, again, it's all about partnerships, right? So we're in partnership with the Michigan Department of Natural Resources, which is managing the park very well on a day-to-day basis, yet the city of Detroit continues to maintain ownership, which is really important. So all Detroiters need to know that this is their home, and they can come and use Belle Isle as their playground. So folks are going to see all kinds of changes.
Well, for folks, specific changes, for folks who haven't been in, say, 10, 15 years, and there's a lot of folks like that that are starting to think, you know, I've heard all these great things, I should probably go check it out. What will they notice? What will be different, better? Why should they go?
Well, the moment you get on the bridge, you're going to see something differently because thanks to the Penske team and Platinum Equity and the like, we have all of the lamps and light fixtures on the bridge are brand new, which is a big difference. It's our front door, right? They're not broken, they're all lit, which is wonderful. So it's as if we're all soldiers standing tall on behalf of this island, making sure it's beautiful, because from that point, the Michigan Department of Natural Resources takes over, and you can see how they've focused on that park user experience. So when you go to the restroom, it's going to be functioning. The lawns are going to be mowed. The beds are going to be in good shape. So it's that singular focus. And the Conservancy is the enhancement. So they work on those issues, and we take the ball from there and work on some of the bigger projects in that.
So what is your role as the Conservancy? Because it isn't just about the beautifulness, if that's a word, of the island and being able to go and have a picnic. There's a lot to do there as well.
I like that word, beautifulness. In fact, I like to say it's 982 acres of marvelousness. So you and I apparently had the same teacher. But yes, there's great things to do. You can go to the Belle Isle. In fact, there's a whole little campus right there. And as we sit here in the Detroit Historical Society, they're one of our wonderful partners. The Dawson Museum is right there. There's four prongs, as well as the Conservatory and the Belle Isle Nature Zoo. So you can come and spend a morning there. You can come and traverse the island and do a WABI, which is an acronym for Once Around Belle Isle. So whether you walk around, bike around, boat around, skip around, if you accomplish that, you've done a WABI. You can go to Sunset Point and see the beautiful sunset on our beautiful skyline. And geez, the Livingstone Memorial Lighthouse anchors the other end of the island. So there's no shortage of things to do, whether you want solace or something more actively engaged. You can come and do that.
So you're doing a really good job of selling Belle Isle to Metro Detroit, to everybody in Michigan. If you haven't seen it in a while, come on down. But I would imagine you're hoping to really make Belle Isle into more of a major tourist destination, where if folks are visiting Detroit from out of town, from out of the country, that they're going to make that one of their stops.
Well, first and foremost, it is the Detroiters Park. It's always going to be an important part of that. But no question, tourists absolutely are finding their way to Belle Isle. Sometimes they might just have a layover at the airport, and they'll come and they'll thrust their baby in your arms and say, will you can we get a picture? It's really quite lovely, and they'll gather around the fountain, which is no doubt one of the most iconic symbols on the island and certainly a go-to place. So yes, we absolutely want to see the prominence of Belle Isle expand beyond the local environs. And given the fact that it's a Frederick Law Olmsted inspired park, that's significant nationally and internationally. There are important architectural assets from the Cass Gilberts of the world, the Albert Kahns of the world, the Eero Saarinens. So it really is something that should be attractive to outsiders.
A must-see for a variety of reasons. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Laurel.
For more information on today's topic, you can visit belleisleconservancy.org. Today's Comcast Newsmaker was Michelle Hodges, the president of the Belle Isle Conservancy.